My name is Irene Ikomu from Uganda. I'm a lawyer. I coordinate an initiative called Parliament Watch Uganda that pushes for open parliament and tracks and monitors our legislature and shares this information largely on social media. Before coming to the United States, I had a lot of expectations for YALI because it had been promoted a lot by the US Embassy, and also when President Obama had come to the continent, so many young people wanted to be a part of it. From Uganda alone, we had 3,000 applications actually, and we were 17 that were able to make it. Being part of the Presidential Precinct is a new stone that's defining my life. Moving from university to different presidential homes to another university, the change in environment keeps the motivation going, because every time you have a new environment, there's a new experience. But also because it's a civic engagement track, and you're largely grooming civic leaders. So going to different presidential homes also gives you a different perspective. It gave most of us a different perspective on how leadership was carried out, for example, by the founding fathers. And although they had so many ways in which they were similar and so many things that they pushed for together, they did have different leadership styles, And so even among the fellows, you had different people relating to different leaders depending on how they discussed it. So it brought an array of discussions that wouldn't have had if we had just stayed in a classroom. I have learned in my 6 weeks here that it's very important to have partnerships, because sometimes you may be good at one area, but there's another organization that's very good at another, and when you work together, you can go further. In the last 2 weeks, I met partners that work in aid data, and we've already had some discussions in areas to partner. And coming to the precinct, I had no idea that would be something that would happen. I originally wanted to have a project that was encouraging young people to be interested in policy and the legislative process. And now I'm realizing that it's not even just enough to get people interested. You have to share the information and repackage it in a way that makes them want to push for transparency. The specific things I'm going to do after leaving the presidential precinct, one is definitely focus on data, changing the way we share information at Parliament Watch Uganda, and changing from just sharing reports that Parliament tables and changing that into more data, more tools, infographics, make it easy, break it down, and even use cartoons if that's how people will understand, for example, the budget process. And so just changing that strategy of ours in terms of how we share information. The experience here has definitely given me a lot to think about in terms of how we define ourselves and what our identity is as Africa.